Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm filming another makeup I haven't reached for in a while, like older makeup. It kind of inspires people to me to go back into their collections and actually use makeup we have, because we get quite caught up in all these new products, and don't get me wrong, I am one of the people that does exactly the same. Like, I know that Flower Beauty is now in the UK, and do not think I am not placing a Superdrug order. However, like, I still love delving into my older makeup as well. So I'm really excited to show you guys like what I used to create this look, and if you're interested in seeing how I created this look, seeing what products I still enjoy and products that I don't like perhaps anymore or like don't reach for, then carry on watching. But if you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel before you leave, and if you hit that notification bell, you'll be notified every time I upload. So it's very early in the morning. If I sound a little bit dodgy, that's because I woke up like half an hour ago. It was about 7:30. This is like one of the earliest times I've ever filmed. But anyway, let's move on to the makeup. So the foundation I've not used in a while is the Revolution foundation drops. I remember liking these, like they were really nice and glowy on the skin. That's what I'm thinking, but I don't actually, I haven't actually used them in a while. So I do have like the whitening drops, and I have the whitening drops because otherwise F1 is just a little bit too dark for me, and actually I can get a little bit of a better shade match. Not that I don't mix it too light sometimes, Okay, it looks like I've mixed it a little too light today, but that's fine. We're going to be bronzing up later, and actually when you use like your powder on top, it's always like the proper colour. So I did put my little headpiece on because I kind of realised that I was getting hair all up in my foundation. This looks so glowy, like you can see on my forehead, like it looks very nice. But you know what, I don't find it lasts as long as some of my other foundations, so I think that's probably why I haven't been reaching for it, because I've been out a lot, So for concealer, we have the Kiko Milano Skin Tone Concealer in 2. I believe like 1 is a whitener or like a funny colour or something like that, which is why it's not like the lightest shade. This is definitely going to be darker than my skin, so I may have to put like another concealer on the top just to lighten it just a bit. And you know what, I'll use a whitening concealer that I haven't used in ages. So I haven't used this concealer in ages either. This is the BH Pro Conceal Whitening Concealer. I'm just going to add a little bit under the eyes, and then when I blend it out, I'm sure it'll mix nicely. It always looks a little bit of a mess, but it looks better blended out, I promise. I've also been putting a little bit of concealer around my nose lately, just here, just because I feel like it looks a bit dodgy, like otherwise around my nose, like the foundation doesn't sit there very well. See, that's a little bit better, although I may have put a little bit too much whitener in that as well. I kind of remember what I didn't like about that BH concealer. I found that it was a little bit glittery. I think mixed in, it's not too bad, but I feel like the glitter is a little bit visible, which I'm not like super keen on. However, it has brightened it up nicely, and actually it looks better than just having a dark concealer on the under eye. So another like powder I haven't actually reached for is the 17 Miracle Matte Loose Powder. Now I don't even know if I've like shown myself testing it on this channel. Like I feel like I've only used it a couple of times. Like, as you can see, it is a little bit of a tinted powder, so I feel like it's going to take away any of my under eye brightness, but we're still going to go for it. I'm just using my BH No. 4 brush. It's the brush that I have been using for my under eyes since I did like my testing the BH Rose Quartz brush kit. You'll see a few of these definitely in this video, but I'll link that down below. It is actually so nice and smooth. It's taken that shine away like instantly, and it says it's like a super like oil controlling foundation, so actually I feel like it's going to like mattify the entire face, but I'm actually quite happy with that. Apart from the fact that it has like dulled down the brightness, it looks very smooth and very pretty. I don't know why I haven't reached for this powder more, to be honest. So I'm now going to take the BH Rose Quartz No. 2 brush and then just take a bunch of powder and set the rest of my face. So I am just going to set my cheeks and around the temple, and try to not set like the middle of my forehead. The problem I have with setting there is it'll lose all this really pretty glow. I've noticed with this foundation I'm getting those forehead lines that I sometimes get. I haven't had them in a while because I've been using my CYO mixed in with other things to use up the other foundations, and it looks much smoother that way. Now the one place I always have to set is my nose. It's like the only oily place on my entire face, and to be honest, if I don't set my nose, there ain't no makeup left there by the end of the day. Not that there's always makeup left here anyway. So you still have a little bit of that glow left on the forehead, but now the cheeks are set for blending product. So recently I haven't actually been doing contour. Contour hasn't been like working so well for me. I feel like it either looks really good and I have to spend forever doing it, at which I don't have the time for always, or like it looks like just a straight line on the face, like, which isn't pretty. And honestly, I will then just spend the extra time making it look decent. It can either then turn out muddy or great, but you're like, do you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna just do bronzer today like I have been doing normally. Now I haven't actually been reaching for this much because I haven't been contouring. So this is the Revolution Pro Contour Pan in Fair. So I'm probably going to use a mix of these two because to me this is a little bit too orange for what I like, and this is a bit more like contour shade, do you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to start with the number 1 from the BH Rose Quartz set and take from both. So I have been using this as like a guide and stamping on the face, because you know what, I don't feel like blending works as well with this brush. Like, the only problem is I'm still feeling it's a bit orange, so I'm going to take more of that brownie shade and just layer it over the top. You can always tone down the bronzer after. I will look a little bit crazy at first. I find that this brush is good for keeping tight to the hairline, because the brush I then use for blending the bronzer out, like I struggle keeping everything quite tightly spaced when I use that for like placing product as well. So now I use like a big fluffy brush like this Technique brush, and I just blend. Like, it's still very intense, but it looks a lot better blended, you know. Don't worry, I am going to tone this down, but I'm going to do blush first because I know that blushes can kind of go a bit over the top. I would rather they be over the top and a little bit blended, and then I can tone them down, than have them like not blended as well, you know. So I haven't been reaching for this one either. I'm pretty sure it's because it's so shimmery. Like, if I have a glowier blush, I'll go for the Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso, but this one is like an alright blush as far as I can remember. So I do still use my studio brush for this, like the angled contour brush, and then just place it on and blend, buffing upwards rather than downwards, like taking it from like the middle of your bronzer up. So that colour is again very intense, but I'm quite happy with the blend. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my more like dense studio powder brush and veil it with a 17 powder. So all I'm doing is stamping the powder into the skin. I'm not like a buff blend unless I feel like it all looks unblended. Like, I will do that, like I'll do it like so. However, I just like to stamp the powder product on and see it's just like toned it down. Like, looking at the blush, I think a good chunk of what I don't like about it is the colour, not so much the intensity. See, to me that looks like so much better. Now I am definitely going to finish the base products before I move on to my eyebrows. So the highlighter I don't reach for is this Maybelline Face Studio Chrome Extreme highlight in Diamond Glow. Yeah, it is Diamond Glow. It's shattered, and that's why, because it creates a mess whenever I open it. And that makes me very sad because it's a beautiful, beautiful product. Now, I find it very important with crumbled products, if you're still trying to use them, to tap off the excess so you don't get like lumps stuck in your brush. So I still use my Luxe Powder Fusion brush. It is super pretty if you're getting like an intense glow. I do quite like this highlighter. It has quite a pretty glow. Like, I find because it's shattered and I'm not picking up loads of product, it doesn't become too intense. However, generally speaking, this is like quite an intense highlight, like if you build it up. It's not my favourite highlight. Like, it takes work for me to build this up to like the intense glow that I like. And I think that's the problem with it. I have highlighters where I've got like a few dips and I'm good to go. And I've got like affordable ones and less affordable ones that do that. So I feel like I filled my categories with highlighters that like I don't need this one, you know. See, it's taken me at least like 3 or 4 dips to get it to this kind of blinding, which to me, like, it should be 2 dips, you know. I'm going to be using my normal brow products today, the L'Oreal Brow Plumper and this Revolution Redemption palette, because I'm pretty sure I used the other brow pomade that I own in the makeup that I didn't reach for like last time, so I'm not going to repeat myself. And to be honest, sometimes I am using that pomade, sometimes I'm using this, but I don't own any other brow products yet to share with you, you know. So what I'll do is I'll show you doing like one brow in fast forward so that you guys can see how I do my brows, because I don't know if I always actually do my brows on camera, because I always like say, oh, I'll do my brows off camera, but I don't remember the last time like I did them on camera, you know. Next we're moving on to eyes, and I haven't done like eyeshadow properly in like a while since I did a review on the Milani palette, but I haven't actually reached for these palettes in like a short while since I went on holiday. I took 2 of them on holiday with me. These are the Morphe X Jaclyn Hill Vault Collection palettes. Now these were like super controversial. I liked some of them, I didn't like the dark one. But I thought the others were alright. I don't think they were like super amazing, like everyone seemed to love her original palette. But today I'm going to be using the Ring the Alarm palette. So I'm just taking my Morphe R39 and blending out Rush here in the crease. So next I'm going to take Alert with my Morphe M433 and focus it a little bit more in the crease. See, this is like such a super bright orange that it just like boldens the look up, you know. I actually do love these colours. Like, I've been using my Milani palette for a bit, so like these colours are just a little bit like new and fresh in a way, even though they're like colours that you see in most palettes. Like, I'm actually really enjoying playing with them. I'm next going to take my number 7 smudger brush and dip into Mugshot. And then just going to like place it in a similar spot to that I did like the other colour, but focus it just more tightly in the crease here. And then blend it out with my Morphe M433. And you see how it just brings a little bit more depth to this corner because it's a little bit darker. But it's still like that orange fade that's so pretty. Because I've not used this palette in a while, it definitely feels like I should be using it more. Like, I am really enjoying it. Like, I'm not having any problem with these colours blending. Like, I don't fully understand the colour combination in terms of these pinky like glitters here. I don't understand that. To me that kind of belongs in the other palette, like the Bling Boss palette. But, you know, this to me is like your neutrals palette, where your like neutrals should definitely be. And I think most of this palette does fit that brief. So generally speaking, I go in with my finger. I have not done like a gold shimmer on my eye in ages, so I'm just dipping into on camera and pressing that on the lid. Like, that is intense and beautiful. I have no problem ever with these shimmers. They feel so smooth, like when you dip your finger in. And my favourite way of applying shimmers, as you guys know, is with my finger. And then if I want a cleaner line, I'll go in with my number 7 eye colour brush. That is so bright and pretty. I'm going to even it up on the other eye, and I'm going to just like blend the shadows together, and then we'll focus on the lower lash line. So I'm just going to take some of Rush on my Morphe on my Morphe M3 on my Morphe R39 and just blend this lower lash line. Like, it's going to be ultra simple and ultra light. I don't want it too dark. I did also highlight my inner corner off camera with my Ofra Pillow Talk highlighter. And now, like, the eye look is done, which I'm super happy about. So I'm just going to set my face. Now, I don't reach for this one a lot because it's a mini and I'm almost like saving it, but I have two and I actually really haven't reached for them because I've been using my other setting sprays. So this is the Urban Decay All Nighter, and I find that this smells a little bit like hairspray, to be honest, but it works. Like, it does make your makeup last longer, in my opinion. It melts it together, but I don't feel like it melts it together as well as MAC Fix Plus does. So I'm going to go in with my NYX Soft Matte Metallic Lip Cream in Dubai. I don't reach for these a lot because they don't last so long. Like, I love a metallic lip, but I don't feel like these last on me, you know? Like, I always find this NYX lips so comfortable, but do you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't feel like they last, and this is my favourite metallic lip colour from them. So for mascara, I don't think I've used this one on camera yet, but I've had it since Christmas, and I tried it like once and haven't reached for it since. So this is the Soap & Glory Thick and Fast High Definition Collagen Mascara. Now this has got like a freaking huge wand, and you know I struggle with a huge wand. I feel like I always poke myself in the eye with it. I also feel like it just does nothing for my lashes, you know? Like, I don't feel like it coats them poorly. Like, my lashes look black, but there's no lift, there's no curl, there's no volume, you know? And I always feel like with my lower lash line, that is where a big thick brush like this is just useless, you know? This is where you are going to touch your skin. See, it's just not like, it's not the volume that I want or the curl or anything. Like, to me, I would rather just go back in with a more like expensive mascara, just to be honest, to get what you want, because in my opinion, if you're paying like £10 and you're not getting what you want, then it's a waste of your £10, you know? So I put a jacket on because I was cold, have taken the headband away, and this is the finished look. I'm really happy with it. Like, I love doing these videos. I think I did another one like a month ago, which I'll link down below. But the products that to me stood out were the foundation. Like, I really like it. I just don't reach for it like as often because it doesn't last quite as long on my skin as some of the others. However, if I've got a shorter day going on, then I will wear this foundation because it's lovely. I think I like the eyeshadow palette as well. Like, although I'm not a fan of like the darker one in the Vault, Dark Magic I think it is, I quite like this one, and the colours are just so nice. Like that gold is beautiful. I'm really happy with it. I also quite like the powder. I found it very smoothing under the eyes, like very nice. I think the products that I wasn't so keen on were the lipstick. Like, I had some of my coffee and then had to top it up, you know. It just doesn't last at all, and I think I need a lipstick that lasts on me, although it is super comfortable. That mascara was not the best, and I wasn't a massive fan of the blush either. Otherwise, the other products that I haven't actually mentioned are like average. Like, I would reach for them, but like they're not my like first port of call. Do you know what I'm saying? So I really hope you guys have liked this video. I love filming it. If you want to see this again, or like see me use other products basically, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel before you leave. And if you press that notification bell, you'll be notified every time I upload. Thank you for watching.